He's gonna be a thrive
Yo, yo, yo.
on the sunshiny
Great
day.
morning, great morning. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I know I did.
Yes, sir. A great weekend. I did a little too much work this weekend though.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Then I'm doing some shit with the draft,
Mm-hmm.
hosting a draft show and shit. So I don't watch college football like that.
Yeah.
So catching up, outside of the main guy, I watch the quarterbacks and all that stuff. But really watching this college all 22,
Mm-hmm.
man, that shit was a grind. But I can't wait till this draft over with. I know that much.
Nah, man. But what it do, man? It's Man to Man Pod. You know, every Monday we here. I'm Antoine, but they got my co-host D Butt.
Yes, sir.
Man, we in here, man. We're gonna jump it off right quick. It's funny, man. It just seemed like the past couple shows, man. We've been talking about KD, and it came out and he was on
$1 million
Wallow,
worth of game.
yeah, $1 million worth of game with
Mhm.
with Wallow and them, and now they asked him his top five teammates, and he had Steph. He had James Harden. He had Kyrie. He had Klay Thompson. And number five was surprising.
That motherfucker said Serge Ibaka,
Serge
which
Ibaka.
Serge, great player.
Yeah, great player. But then obviously one player was left off that list, Russ.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think do you think it was an honest, mistake?
Man, they played together for 8 years.
Right.
Football. And if you ask me my top five teammates as a football player, it's a lot tougher because there's so many. You got 22 starters on every team I've been on, so that's tougher. Obviously, the outliers are there, but basketball players, five of y'all. Usually, you a big dog. It's probably one next to you. Russ was like that was your running mate for 8 years, so it's hard to think that that was. That he could slip his mind, but at the same time, maybe he did. It's been a while since they played together. He's played on Olympic teams, played on All-Star teams, played on the Warriors, won championships with the Nets. So I mean, it's not out of the realm of reality that he truly just slipped his mind. What you think? What you think? You think that was intentional, bro? Come on, bro. Serge, because you can tell he was thinking about the last one. Like, damn, who else said? He probably thought he already said Russ. Like, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm tripping."
Yeah. Now he ended up coming back and saying Russ. He ended up coming back and saying Russ, but I just figured,
And then he said I was trippy. I think he put Russ at like 3 or 4.
Yeah. But he definitely did. He came back and he said it definitely. But I just feel as though off jump, nah, you can't. Like you said, play 8 years. 8 years.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. You know what I mean? You coming
You
in,
know
y'all
what?
young together.
Go ahead, my fault.
You know what I mean? You coming in the league. You know what I mean? Y'all both young. Y'all took that OKC franchise to the top,
Finals.
to the finals. Like, some bonds, regardless of how they end or whatever. You know what I mean? Some things, man, you just don't forget. Like, you're not gonna forget. Like, even like you just said, like, you got 22 starters, but if I ask you, D-Buck, on the teams you played, name the guys in your secondary, you gonna name them Jones off like this, right? It might be one or two that you forget, but you got to, and then
that's what I'm saying. It may be like it's tough, bro. He done played a lot of ball, bro.
But who you forgetting though? You're not forgetting them starters. You're not forgetting them dogs. Like,
I would put it like this. I wouldn't forget Vontae. Right, I wouldn't forget Vontae that we played together for 5 years. That was like the guy I was almost always communicating with, regardless of who else I played with. So I understand that part of it. Yeah, you're right, man.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. And then, like you said, it could have been an honest mistake, but I just know I played in Indy for 8 years. And it's just some names that I'm not gonna forget. And I didn't even play on the offensive side of the ball. I didn't play on the offensive side of the ball. But I'm not gonna forget a Reggie Wayne, a Dallas Clark, a Peyton Manning, a Jeff Saturday, like even Pierre Garcon, Austin Cott, like them names I'm not gonna forget. You know what I mean? And to have somebody that I played alongside with, you know.
But look at the other names he named though. It ain't like he was just naming, you know, he was naming other Kyrie, who he's currently playing with, obviously.
Yeah, James Harden,
you know, another all-time. Steph Curry.
That he played with in OKC, and now that he's currently playing with.
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry in your
Klay
top
Thompson, you know what I mean? These cats you won championships with. Like I said, I can't, you know, I don't know what he was thinking at that point. You know, you put on the spot. Sometimes you
forget.
Have a little Freudian slip, or maybe it's some conscience there where, you know, maybe something there where but like you said, he doubled back, said he was tripping, like damn, because he was like, you know, when I watched the interview, he was like, I forgot somebody, like y'all, you know, and they were just like, you know, shit, I thought you would have, you know, mentioned somebody from LA. He's like, oh yeah, Russ, like I'm tripping. He should be. So I don't know if he was being paid.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like you say, he circled back, he came back, he got it right.
Who your top 5 teammates?
Top 5 teammates?
Yep, top 5 teammates.
Man, that's tough,
top, man.
That's tough for me, man. Like you said, just being
played 14 years, a lot of ball, a lot of teammates.
A lot of teammates. Damn, that's tough. I'm gonna start off with
Wait, what's the merit to this? Is this like relationships on off the field?
That's what I'm saying. Now I'm gonna go relationships on and off the field.
Okay, but
that's me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go relationship on and off the field. I'm gonna go. Damn, give me. Damn, 5 is tough because I'm gonna go 5 just off GP in Indy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. 8 years. That's know, that was the beginning for you too.
That's the beginning for me. So I'm gonna go Reggie Wayne, Robert Mathis, Gary Brackett, Cato June, Kelvin Hayden, Marlon Jackson.
Well, how was that, bro?
That was 6 right there. And then I'm gonna go.
It's tough in football.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I'm gonna go. I got Torrey Smith, Mike Thomas.
We had Torrey in the clubhouse of the day.
Mm-hmm. Mike Thomas. Man, it's tough, man. It's tough. It's tough. But those are my. That's a lot. That's a lot. What about you?
Like, it's tough to name. It's been so many, man. Coming in.
Shit, Darius Butler. Shit, now we business partners. Like,
yeah. Coming in. Lee Barton, Brandon. It's tough, man. Got drafted with Pat Chung. That was my road dog.
Mm-hmm.
BM, Lee Barton, Sean Springs. Took me under their wing. Vince Wilfork looked out for me. Randy Moss, to this day, we tight. We talk all the time. Man, in Carolina, TD looked out for me in Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Munderland, we trained together, so we knew each other from the beginning before we were coming out. Man, Sherrod Martin, $2 out there in Carolina as well. Chris Gamble.
Mm-hmm.
From the same hometown, looked out, and then in Indy, that's where I met you, Vontae. Me and Vontae, we had knew each other from combine times coming out the draft. Damn,
yeah.
We still kicking, still talk a lot all the time. Vontae, Greg Toller,
GT.
Whoa, LeRon Landry, like we, what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's damn, man. Langford, Big Cat, Kendall Langford, Eric Walden. Shep Dog, Ahmad Bradshaw, man, it's too many.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
It's too many, man.
Like
T.Y.
Kendall, like me and Kendall, like we was never teammates, but shit, we done did business deals off the field together. Another one of my HBCU cats. So yeah, it's rough.
T.Y. So my mom owned a real estate brokerage. So T.Y. He bought his houses through her. Tavon Branch, obviously best friend from college. Pat McAfee. You know, me and Pat, shit, we was cool. You know, pretty much our whole time in India. And then obviously we've done a bunch of things after football, so it's tough, man. It's tough to name. So now you can see how KD can leave a guy like Russ off, man, like unintentionally. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of cats.
We didn't say relationships. We said top 5 players. That's what the question was.
If you just talking about straight talent,
that's
a different conversation.
It is.
That's a different convo, man. What else? Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Matter of fact, before we move on, did you donate your money to Triller this weekend? I saw a lot of people on my timeline.
I did not.
when donated their funds to Triller to watch another Jake Paul fight.
I did not. Did you?
Absolutely not. Yeah. I didn't even know. Honestly, I had forgot he was fighting. My little brother had asked me. My little brother Denzel, he's like 10 years younger than me. He was like, "Yeah, you know, we watching the Jake Paul fight." I'm like, watching the Jake Paul fight. I just watched the last one because it was Nate. Nate Robinson. I wanted to see how Nate was gonna do in there, but
man, we got to check on Nate, man. We ain't heard from Nate since, man.
I saw he was tweeting or something during the fight. Man, I seen some memes. Man, he'll never let that shit down. And then he won his rematch.
I bet you do. Hey, so then I heard the NFT. You know how they creating all these moments and stuff. Oh, I think somebody created a moment off that Nate Robinson situation.
I hope Nate eating off of it, man. That's you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If it is, you know, because obviously it's embarrassing, but if he can eat off it, you know, that's the silver lining. But I saw the clips. Matter of fact, before that, so I was watching the Celtics Warriors game.
Great game.
Yeah, great game. Tatum and Steph Curry was going at it. Kemba, shout out Kemba. UConn hit a tough step back to clutch it, to close it out. But Tatum and Curry, he in his bag right now.
Yeah, he in his bag right now. He top 5 all time on your list.
Come on, those are private text messages, man. I don't want people coming at my head.
Hey, for y'all listening in right now, yo, if y'all can see some of this shit that I be getting on my phone from D-Butt, yo, not saying that that's outlandish, that Steph can't be in somebody's top 5, but
in my top 5, it can't be outlandish.
Yeah,
I be on like gas on the weekend too. So
man, I was gonna ask you, like, man, that's
when I have my most clear thoughts.
Nah, I feel you, but go ahead. What you about to say?
I forgot, but he is top 5 though. But anyway, I was watching that game, and I'm seeing on my timeline, because sometimes I'll be watching the big basketball games that I'll be tweeting along, and I saw somebody like, yeah, it's a slapping match being hosted by a referee by Ric Flair, being hosted by Pete Davidson. I'm like, yo, what is going on? I know it's 2021, but I gotta be reading some shit wrong.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, that was really what was going down. They had concerts. So they put on what looked like a pretty crazy production. But the fight, you know, he knocked the boy out in the first round. He was a UFC fight. I'm not familiar with who he was.
Yeah, me neither.
He was smiling, walking up out of there.
Man, got that check. What you talking about?
Yeah, he got that check clear. He probably bet on Jake knocking him out in the first round too.
Man, no question. But I mean, I ain't gonna front. It was a flush one though. it was a flush one. The highlights that I seen.
No bullshit.
That was a flush one. So like, I don't know if he betted on getting knocked out like that, but that over.
They made it look good. Yeah, he definitely connected, and he got up too. He got up.
Yeah,
you know, the ref told him, step forward. I felt like the fight should have, kept going on. Yeah. But ref called it.
I don't know if it was his old lady, but his old lady walking back to the locker room.
They were cheesing ear to
ear. Like,
yeah. Now I know you're a big boxing fan. You know, I'm kind of a casual. How do you feel about the whole Jake Paul and the celebrities and their thing? Like, how do you feel like that's affecting the the whole sport of boxing, the whole business of boxing?
Man,
Obviously, bringing more eyes and attention to it, but
So
is that
that
necessarily a good thing?
It's like you said, it's definitely bringing eyes to the occasion, right? I think it's a difference between what Jake Paul is doing and real boxers. Because for one, you know he's not going to step in the ring with a real boxer.
You don't think
I just
so?
think not a real boxer, not somebody that not somebody that trains and think that they can, they know the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Like, nah, I'm talking about a skilled boxer who
really got some fights on his belt.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, give me somebody that, go to one of these gyms in Philly and get one of these young gunners, that's the up and coming. Give me somebody that done put in some work, and then to kind of look at it a little differently. But for the sport of boxing, I think somebody that watches, I think you can differentiate between what he's doing and then that real shit.
But I mean that real shit, is that real shit bringing in the money like that? Like because I know coming up, even though I wasn't a big boxing fan, like I knew when fights were happening. Like I knew when people would, people were getting together and watching fights. I don't feel like that's really
I think so.
Anymore.
I think so, because when you were young, the main guys you were watching,
the heavyweights.
I was coming up, yeah. So you knew when Mike Tyson was going to fight. You knew when even when the Lennox Lewis was fighting, Holyfield. So you knew when those guys. Then even when Roy Jones came in, you knew when Roy Jones, Antonio Tarver. So you knew when those guys was fighting. And I think it's the same now. Like when the main guys are fighting, you hear people talking about it.
Yeah. Well, I hope we start getting. The thing about why I never became a real fan of boxing, I always felt like it was too much politics involved, especially once I got to like teenage and 20s, and I'm like, yo, why ain't that dude fighting that dude? Like those are clearly like the two at the top of the game. Like I want to see, Bud and Canelo go at it, or
it's a lot of politics.
Yeah, so that's what I think honestly messes up the boxing, the whole boxing. Even Floyd and Pat, like that took way too long to happen, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's a lot. Like you said, it's a lot. Like you said, the top guys not always fighting when they should fight. So yeah, you right about that. It's a lot of politics in it.
Yeah. So are you follow soccer at all? Not politics and money and all that.
Not a huge. I mean, obviously, when World Cup comes around, wifey, she played soccer all her life. Played in
word?
Yeah, played through college and everything. So she's a big soccer fan.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't be on it like that. But I did hear the news though.
Yeah. So yesterday, I want to look it up. Let me look it up on my timeline because I'm completely ignorant of the whole setup of soccer and the different leagues, teams, and all that. Yeah, that's a lot. I started playing FIFA a little bit back in the day. Started getting a little understanding of it, but so the UEFA has threatened to ban every team that participates in the newly formed Super League from all UEFA and FIFA competitions at the European and international level. But so apparently they made basically a super league to where they're taking all the, I guess, the money-making friends. And somebody please jump in the comments if I'm wrong or not explaining this right, because I'm probably going to mess it up.
Yeah.
But basically they just grouped up the biggest teams with the biggest markets. Yeah, and put them together and basically said, all right, kind of screw all the other teams. Which the whole soccer community, I guess I call it the football community. I grew up knowing football, but you don't call it the football community. Yeah. And it's the biggest sport in the world. It's no doubt about that. 1,000%. But the whole soccer community was up in arms about what was going on. But it seems like it's a money play, and we know money talks. Yeah. Especially in this day and age. So it's gonna be interesting, but I'm definitely I want to see y'all thoughts on this and what's going on with that.
And that new league was comprised of what? How many teams is it?
I believe 16.
6 teams. And how much you gonna do with 6 teams? Like,
nah, 16 teams.
Oh,
so,
you said 16.
Yeah, 16, 1-6.
I thought you said 6 teams.
Yeah. But I mean, so somebody put up these 16 teams, and they had like the faces of like the best players from these teams, and I recognize probably half of the faces, which means like it's probably the most, you know, the most notable, the teams that are making the most money, teams probably spending the most money. So let's see what Tone. So Tone said, I think the bigger part is that the players who are on those teams could be banned from World Cup play as well. So
that'd be huge. And I did, and I was gonna ask about that too, because I just seen some before we jumped on where they were talking about players could be banned from the World Cup. So now, like, so what do you do?
If you're a player, or
if you're a player, like obviously if you or a team or organization, you already know. You said it, like they going for the bucks, like the big bucks. You know what I'm saying? They going for the money, for the green. But as a player, if you're on this team and you know it could potentially, you know, you could suffer where, like, you know, when World Cup play come and you want to play for your country,
yeah,
and you're not able to do that, like what do you do? Like, do you go with your team, your organization, or do you sit this one out?
I mean, I don't know. I know if it's gonna be tough because that obviously the money, like once again, money talks. So if the money is gonna make you kind of make that decision for you, honestly. Now certain guys who have made a certain amount of money, or maybe that the money is different at a different place of priorities on their list. Maybe they say, you know, screw it, I'm not going to do this. But I don't know how that works, honestly. So I will honestly got to educate myself on situational facts.
Yeah.
Who's paying the bills? The team, not the country. So it's tough, unfortunately. And it's kind of like I said, I'm kind of ignorant to it. But, you know, we only got 32 football teams, you know, NFL teams.
Right.
You know, do you think we could have another league that could really have, you know, it could be competitive, or could we have 8 more teams and it still have the same quality across the league? So I don't know.
Yeah,
it's different. Or if you look at the college game, if the college game just say, all right, we're going to take the top 16 NCAA teams, the top 20, and we just going to make it that own league. Like, which league would you watch as a consumer?
Shit, I watch top 20. And
you know what I mean?
I watch the other leagues too, though. You know what I mean?
Only because you only saying that because you know, HBCU
I come from that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
so I understand the grind. So, like, you know, I'm not going, you know.
Well, I went to UConn, and I know UConn wouldn't be in the top 20. I'm still watching the top 20.
No, I'm watching top 20 for sure. You know, I mean, I ain't gonna front, but I'm definitely gonna, you know, have my eyes on the other cats for sure.
Yeah, I feel you. It's tough though, man. That money, you know, the money, it always kind of, we talk about it on the show, that always kind of at some point, you know, fucks up the purity of the game, in my opinion. But you know, but moving on to the other football. Trevor Lawrence.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, man. A lot of people making a lot of noise about the comments that he made in the Sports Illustrated article. Me personally, I had absolutely no issues with what he was saying. He was basically saying, you know, he don't have this, you know, manufactured chip on his shoulder. You know, he's not obsessed with winning. I think his dad said he's not obsessed with winning the Super Bowl. You know, basically just like essentially, look, it's other things in my life more important than football. Like football, yes, I'm committed to it. I'm gonna work hard. I'm driven all these different things, but I'm not like this maniacal person that, you know, it's just football above everything at all costs. How you felt about, you know, his comments and then the reactions to his comments?
So I feel it's two separate sides of this, right? So one, I agree with him, right? So as far as, you know, I'm not coming in here with this chip on my shoulder. I'm coming in as Trevor Lawrence. I'm gonna come play the game. Like you said, I'm gonna put my 100% in, I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna do what I got to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, though, and I'm a just take your time and just listen to what I'm about to say, right? So,
For sure.
Again, if I'm the owner or the GM of this organization, and the guy that I'm bringing in to hopefully be the future of my organization, saying that I'm not crazy or about winning the championship, now I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna look at him. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna look at this person or this player, right? And I'm talking about coming from an executive, right? And then look at it as if I'm Justin Fields, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I make these same type comments where I'm not coming in with a chip on my shoulder and I'm not crazy about winning a championship, I think we'll be looking at it a little different as well. You know what I mean? So I definitely respect what Trevor Lawrence said, and and some parts of me, I agree with what he's saying. Like, I'm not about to just drive myself crazy trying to do X, Y, and Z. But then on the other stance though, like, if I'm bringing you in, paying these big bucks, shit, I'm bringing you in to get this team to the promised land. So again, everybody's gonna have their opinion on what he said, on how they feel. So
and I think this is probably lesson number one for him on what it means, being a quarterback for a professional, the NFL. Because I don't care how big you are on the college level, outside of probably Tim Tebow status or Johnny Football, maybe when he was on the college level. It's certain guys, Reggie Bush, maybe certain guys who had a different platform as on college. But outside of that, once you get to the NFL, it's a different ball game. It's so many people that's just talking about you every day, all day. Obviously, he's been pegged as, the guy, the chosen one since probably sophomore, junior year in college. So everything he say, people gonna have a reaction to it. Like you said, we've been talking about KD for, I feel like 3 shows now.
Right.
And he hasn't even really been playing. It's basically things he's been saying, whether it's Michael Rappaport or Shannon Sharp or now leaving Russ off the list. So it's just that type of machine behind you now. And I feel like this is probably his first lesson with that. I feel like his only mistake was honestly just saying it publicly, saying it in an article. You know what I mean? Because we've been around teammates. We've been around we've been in those shoes. Like, you can't be just 100% focused on that all the time. Like, you can't. Like, that's just, it's not realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that's why people know you, that's why you get paid the big bucks, that's why you get a lot of these other things. That's unhealthy. It's not realistic. And I feel like he was just being transparent. And he can't. How can he manufacture a chip on his shoulder when he's been the chosen one since before he even left high school? You know what I mean? So I had, like I said, I had no issues with what he said, and then he doubled back and tried to clarify his comments. But yeah, I think it's just lesson number one, being an NFL quarterback. And when you walk in that locker room, you are going to be one of the leaders of those grown ass men. So it's a different ball game. So people want to at least feel like you are 100% in and bought in, and which I think they will be. And they'll judge him based off his practice habits, based off his preparation, based off how he plays the game. For instance, like Andrew Luck, like I mean, you were Luck's teammates. I was Luck's teammates. I think we all knew Luck, football wasn't the only thing important in his life. That wasn't the end all be all for him. He didn't necessarily need football. But the way Andrew prepared, the way Andrew practiced, the way Andrew played, I had the utmost respect for him.
No,
so
for sure.
I feel like, you know what I mean? So I feel like if Lawrence continue to do what he's been doing, I feel like it'll be the same way.
Yeah, but I just think it's a difference though when somebody comes out and say, "Man, I don't need this." You know what I mean? it hits a little different.
But we want people to be real.
We do.
We want people to be real.
We do. 1,000%. But again, I'm not. You can't front and say it don't hit different when you hear somebody like, "Man, I don't need this." You know what I mean? So we had a little.
My bad.
Nah, you good. But nah, we definitely want everybody to be real. But but you can't tell me.
I mean, I don't know, bro. Me personally, like, bro, just keep be yourself, man. Keep it real.
Keep it a buck.
Like
Yeah,
I said,
I want you to keep it a buck too. But D-Buck, you cannot sit here and tell me when you've been in them locker rooms where if you heard your quarterback say, yo, I don't need this. Even though you know it in your mind, but for him to come out and be like, yo, I don't need this game.
But what he says, I take what you do more important. Like, so if you're in a meeting, you say, yo, football is everything, and I lay it all on the line for the team, and all the right things in the interviews in the media, blah blah. When we call it up, all that shit. Bro. But when I see you in practice, you're not prepared. You not lining guys up, right? Because when you watch it, you play with Peyton, you play with Luck, you play with great quarter. I play with Brady, Cam, Luck. So quarterbacks, like, hey, they making sure everybody on the line, they making sure the formation is straight. Like, the coach shouldn't have to be stepping in and say, hey, remember this part. Like, so if I see that happening, but you on the camera saying this is your everything, yeah, I got more of a problem with that than you saying I don't need this shit, but I know you bringing 100% every day in the meeting room, on the field, on game day. So that's just me personally. It's kind of like with KD. With KD, when he was saying like, oh, I'm not completely driven by championships at this point in my career. I won them. I thought I was going to be happy once I won it, but I just, I'm about getting better in the process of the game, blah, blah, blah. But when I watch him on the court, he plays championship level like basketball. So I don't have an issue with his comments. If he bringing his lunch pail every day.
Nah, I feel you. I need my leaders to be talking some different talk. That's just me.
You still need that lip service. Pause.
It's not lip service. You know what I mean? Nah, I don't want you to give me lip service. I ain't about that. But just some things that I just know when it's said, sometimes locker rooms look at it a little different. You know what I mean? But I get it. Yeah, I get it.
I get it, man. But I ain't gonna. What is he? 20, 21? He gonna learn. He gonna continue to learn.
Like you said, it was lesson learned. And again, he come out and ball. Shit, we won't be talking about this in a year to come. You know what I mean? So
that's a fact. I did find it kind of interesting though, the different reactions to the comment that I saw on TV at least. Because a lot of people gave, Trevor the benefit of the doubt, and he said this, we've seen this, blah, blah, blah. But then when KD made kind of, I guess, in somewhat similar comments, you talking about a guy who's won multiple championships, multiple finals MVPs, multiple all-star game MVPs, gold medals, all these things. He comes out and says that he gets like, oh, what do you mean you're not motivated by championships? But then the young boy ain't taking a snap yet, ain't taking a snap in the league yet.
That's why I'm giving them both the same energy. I'm giving them both the same energy. Like, yo, like, but again, man, we all play the game that we love for different reasons. We're going to say that. We play this game for different reasons.
You play this what?
We play this game.
Okay.
We play this game. What you thought? What's up?
No, I'm just saying. It's I mean, at the end of the day,
it's a game. Yeah, it's
a game. Getting paid handsomely. Obviously, it's a lot on the line, but at the end of the day, it's still a game, man.
Nah, you're right. But this game, it affords you a lot. It affords you a lot, and so.
Man. Shout out to Trev, man. What else y'all got? Start dropping some questions, some comments in the chat. You know what I mean? It's about that time of the show. Y'all make the show the best, man. That's because obviously it ain't too much real shit out here to talk about in the sports world right now.
Yeah, not right now.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about this though. This top five, right?
So
Pepe is from Mexico. Day one. Your top five, man. You had sent me a text during the Golden State game.
Mm-hmm.
And you was like, your top five, and I was just kind of like, I think Darius Butler, like he's a very in the moment guy. He's
I would agree with that. You know,
yeah, from my experiences and just when I look at things and hear things, you're a very in the moment guy. So when you're in the moment, you 100%. Like forget what happened, an hour before or what can potentially happen, whatever. You very in the moment. So you had said your top five. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of gave you a little bit of pushback and was like, Shaq at one time was like one of the most dominant big men that play in the league, and you was like, man,
the most dominant player that I've
seen with your eyes, and you was like, man, he's not gonna make my top five.
Yeah, so I hate you. We was talking about might have been on the last show.
Being
top 10. We talking about top 10, and then I put Steph in the top 10, and then I said, and when I text you when Steph was going off, mind you, going off by itself. Getting picked up, trapped at half court,
right?
Shit was crazy. But anyway,
in the moment,
so I'm like, I said, obviously in the moment, hey, Steph might be in my top 5 right now. Mind you, before this, I done had arguments in my group chat and shit. Like, hey, look, I know it's gonna sound crazy, but when it's all said and done, Steph is gonna be in the conversation for the greatest of all time. Because I just feel like he's a shooter. He he does a lot, but he got a lot. He probably got another 6-7 years to play at a high level.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm saying top 5 from the standpoint of obviously from what I've seen. So I'm not talking about Kareem, Wilt,
right?
Even like Bird. I didn't watch Bird like that. I didn't watch Magic like that.
Right.
I remember watching Hakeem.
Yeah.
But top 5 to start. If I had to start a franchise right now with how the game is played, Steph 100% is in my top 5. I had MJ, I had Kobe, I had LeBron, not necessarily in this order. MJ, Kobe, LeBron. Who I had? KD and Steph.
Yeah, that was your 5.
You know what I mean? Those would be the top 5 guys, and then Kawhi would be somewhere in there. Shaq would be up there, And then you was like, Shaq, no Shaq?
Yeah, I'm like,
it's just how the game is played today. It's just, it ain't like back in the day. I feel like it was based off you want number 1 pick. If you had the best center on the board and the best point guard on the board, what was coming up, you taking the center every time. It's different now.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. My top 5, man. I gotta have a big in my top 5.
Now, if you had me obviously put a starting 5 together, it'd be different. But
I mean, we talking. All I'm saying, top 5. Like your top 5.
Start your team.
So your top 5, the 5 you just named, is that like the 5 within the last 10 years or something? Like,
I would say
15, 20 years?
I say last 20.
Last 20?
I'm 35. Let's say I knew what the hell I was watching. I got an older brother that's 6 years older than me, so he made me watch, sports, football, basketball. Yeah. So I remember watching. My earliest memories, honestly, of watching basketball were like the Lakers versus the Bulls. And at that time, we was living in California. I was a Laker fan. Like my first favorite player was James Worthy. And so like I've been watching ball for a minute.
Yeah.
But when I really understood it for myself and really knew what I was watching, that's kind of what I count from. So MJ, his last title was 98. I was 12. So I knew just watching the game, all right, 2-3, like he's completely different than everything else on the court. So I knew what I was watching, but it's like last 20 years. Like I'm not gonna go back and be like, that guy, this guy, even though it was great. So I didn't watch Big O.
So
I didn't watch Pistol Pete.
So from now, we just got to make sure we put an asterisk by that. And he's like, this is past 20 years when we talking.
Past 20 years.
Yeah, past 20 years.
You saw Mark Jackson said, Steph, nobody impacted the game more than Steph Curry in the last 40 years.
I mean, that's his opinion.
I take you don't agree with that.
No, I'm not saying that I don't, but I'm just saying that's Mark Jackson's opinion. I think we talked about it. I think MJ's impact on the game is still to this day tremendous. Like,
Facts.
You see guys, you see, teams in the league now with his logo on uniform. Like that's That's impactful. That's very impactful. So I think sometimes we just forget, like, shit, Space Jam. Like, you go into the rim, sticking your tongue out. Gatorade, I want to be like Mike, Haynes, and shit, till this day, his shoes like still sell out, and he hasn't stepped on the court in I don't know how long. So just the impact that he had, I just think is tremendous. I can't take anything away from Steph, just the way the game is being played now. And like you said, just from like, the women's game, the man's game, the AAU circuit, I get that. But MJ,
shit.
what he
the LA fitness circuit.
I mean, I get it, but what MJ did, bro, like even to the baggy shorts, the wristbands on one arm, like right underneath the elbow, like, you know what I mean? Like that's tough. And I don't know if we're gonna see that again. Like, just
I feel like we'll see it again.
The hoop earrings, like the hoop earrings.
I mean, we'll see it again because AI came after him, and I feel like AI. Shit, the cat still wearing the arm sleeve. I'm talking about not even just basketball, football. Cat's wearing the arm sleeve, being yadded. Yadded from, sleeves. So that wasn't professional or, all these different things. So
that's just my argument to like, just saying that, the most impactful in the past 40 years. That's an argument. Yeah, I get it, but it's crazy. It's crazy.
We got a couple questions. Matter of fact, hold on. I'll be right. There's some good questions here, but we got about 12 more minutes. I'll be right back. Let me take 2 minutes.
Yeah. You go
1 minute.
Go ahead. To me on Alex Smith, one career to be remembered and unlucky of what he went through. So Alex Smith called it a career. Nah, man, he had congrats to Alex Smith on retirement. It must have just came out. Alex Smith had a good one, man. Good run. Definitely, what he was able to overcome that gruesome injury, man. Takes a lot of guts, a lot of fortitude, man, to be able to go through that and be able to come back and play the game. I looking at that and seeing what he had to go through, almost losing his leg and being able to come out, run on the field, not only just run on the field and suit up, but actually play and play good too. So salute to him. So Joel Embiid, man, that boy, he in his bag right now. MVP, playing well on the defensive end. Doc went over there getting them boys right. What you think about them Sixers, bro? Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons.
Man, Sixers might be my pick out of the East. The Sixers might be my pick out of the East. Joel,
no Heat? Man, you ain't going with your Heat?
Nah, I ain't gonna go with my heart. You know what I mean? Bam did just hit a big shot, game winner to beat the Nets. But if the Sixers stay healthy, Joel Embiid, it's always about health with him. It's been like that from day one. But he's been playing at dominant MVP level all year. Got a bunch of shooters around him. Seth Tobias been playing well. Ben Simmons been having the defensive. I wonder if it could be the first year you have. I don't know if it happened before, but having the MVP and the defensive player of the year on the same team.
Shoot, Joel Embiid can go for that defensive player of the year too.
Man, it's a play. I'm gonna send you this play. Matter of fact, that Ben Simmons had. It's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna send it to you. Just the whole sequence of play. But they're my favorite only because if the Nets were healthy, obviously I'll go with them. But they ain't been healthy all year. Like I just can't think like, when the playoffs come, it's just gonna click.
They automatically
be healthy through. You know what I mean?
Like that.
Yeah, it don't work like that. They're gonna be playing every other night, or And KD just came back. He left the game with a thigh contusion. He out. Harden still out. So right now, Philly. I like Philly coming out of the East, man.
Yeah.
I like Philly coming out of the East. You got any good Irsay stories? Irsay's a character, man.
Character, yeah, but I got a real good one. I'm not going to mention it.
That ain't for air.
Nah.
But
and we talked about that. What show? It was probably like a week or two ago.
Kyrie taking that PTO.
Taking them days off. Way too many for me. Way too many.
I'm most worried about KD. I would say down the stretch in the playoffs. I think Harden don't usually miss games. You know what I mean? So I think Harden will be there. I think Kyrie will be there too. But like I said, just getting that continuity and playing together. I think if Philly keeps building that, like you said, with Doc at the helm as well, I like Philly right now.
Yeah.
I like Philly right now. Who else we got? Joker. Yeah, Joker been balling. Joker been balling all year. Dame been balling all year, even when CJ was out. Steph, I know they're not winning, but I mean, if he stay on this run,
he might get him another points title this year,
bruh.
I think they said Bradley Beal. I think Bradley Beal averaging 31 point some, and then I think Steph right behind him with 31.
Yeah.
So,
and Steph was my preseason MVP pick. Stephen Norris, don't sleep on the Bucks. Sleep on the Bucks.
My guy Foots, what it do, bruh?
Hey, Foots, I'm so sleep on the Bucks right now. If they come out of the East, that'll be a shocker to me. I mean, they did make a big pickup with Drew Holiday. I do love him as a player, but I ain't buying it because Alex Smith retired. I missed that.
Yeah, that's what I said. It must just came out today.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. Great career, long career, number one pick. Obviously coming back from what he came back from.
That's it right there. I was just saying when you was gone, like for him to even suit up, but then for him to suit up and then go out there and play some good ball after that. That's commendable.
Almost losing your leg. That's crazy. Yeah. What's the worst injury you had to come back from? Like that maybe you thought for even a day or a month or whatever. Like, hey, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be the same after this one.
I think the only one that I had just a slight question about was when I tore my pec the first time. I tore my pec in 17. Yeah, 17. It was like the 7th, 8th game of the season. And obviously I got put on IR, and that was my one and only surgery. That was the only time I
was an Iron Man.
Yeah, I had been put on IR. So coming back, I think I was good, I was strong, but like going out there and tackling, I was kind of nervous about it. But other than that, man, like my injuries wasn't anything crazy. I think one of the toughest ones I had to play through was high ankle sprain, and then I tore some ligaments in my elbow. So those was the
dislocated elbow.
Yeah, Frank Gore, man. Frank Gore. Frankie G.
119 straight starts. Yeah, that's nuts. That's nuts.
What about you? What was yours?
I was fortunate, like you, man, to not have a bunch of major injuries. Matter of fact, the first year I got to the Colts, my shoulder, I had nerve damage in my shoulder, so it wasn't really. That's kind of the worst ones when you have one of those injuries that, you break something or you tear something, and it's like something that the doctors and the trainers, they see, and you 6-8 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, whatever. But that was one of the things doctor told me, because I couldn't lift my joint. And the doctor told me, like, oh, yeah, you got some nerve damage in there. You got this, you got that. And, you know, you could be good in 2 weeks or, like, you could never, like, it could never be back right. So it was like, because, like, the nerve, I guess that's just how it is with the nerves, especially in that neck, shoulder type area. So that was, it wasn't that I was nervous about playing, but I just didn't know. That's scary when you don't know, like, the real prognosis or the real, like, hey, this is because you usually get an injury, you know, all right, you do this, I'll be back. I should be feeling this type of way after 3 weeks. I should be here in 5 weeks. But so that was the only time really I can think of in my career where it was like, damn. Like,
how that make you feel though? Like, well, I mean, what did you end up doing? How long did you end up sitting out? And then like mentally, like where was you at with that?
Yeah, that was tough because that was, you know, the year first, like I said, first year with the Colts. So I had been released by the Patriots a couple years prior, and then had been released by the Panthers the year before that. And when I got to the Colts, that was kind of like, you know, my last shot for real. So, and that was, I want to say after my maybe second start, played against the Jets, and RP McKnight, that's who ran my ass over right now. I blitzed, met him in the hole. That was so he did that. But it was scary, man. It was scary. That's when you think about, you know, them certain injuries. You think about beyond football. Like, damn, I'm gonna be able to pick up my kids, play with my kids. You know, shoot a jump shot, do a push up. So it was definitely scary, nerve wracking, no pun intended. But it was scary. But I the Swim-X got me right. I ain't gonna lie. That's when I was. Yeah, it wasn't nothing else. That was the only thing that I saw progress. So shout out to Wallow, who was one of the trainers at the time. That's who I was working.
Was Wallow your man? Was Wallow your main guy? So for y'all that don't know, like when you got your stuff, when you got the training room. 9 times out of 10, everybody kind of have their go-to person in the training room. Whether it's like, you know, you're getting your ankles taped, you're getting spatted, you getting your wrist, or like if it's any type of work you need done, massages, stretching, you have your one guy that you typically always go to. So and
like, it's typically about what, like 3-4 main guys? Girls.
Yep. It's about 3 or 4. And then even you might have like an intern that comes in, and he or she, you might just hit it off with them, and you might just want to show them love and be like, and they turn out to be your go-to person. So
so Wallow was my go-to guy, and I got to you guys kind of when I got to Indy, it was like I want to say like week 3 or 4. So at that point, you know, everybody kind of already got their people. You know, you got your time slot. So if it's AB, if it's Reggie, if it's Freeney, if it's Vinatieri, whoever it is, you know, they may, like, let's say practice, you supposed to be on the practice field at 1 o'clock. Like AB may get taped every day at 12:35, and that just may be the time he get on the table. So, you know, it could be somebody on the table, you know, just like, you know, let me get by. And it's like, that's just what it is. So, so it was kind of, you know, weird coming in at that point. But, I want to say Wallow. That was the guy who, you know, it's just like you go to anywhere you go. You know, you frequent a place. If you got a certain server, a certain bartender, a certain whoever, like that's just your person. So Wallow was definitely my person. You know, had my moleskin right on my ankle, all that different type of shit. But yeah, that was the guy who I did most of my rehab with. And obviously you build those type of connections with those people, because that's when you, as an athlete, that's when you at your lowest points. You know what I mean? Because that's when you can't do what you've been doing all your life. You know, that's the person that's pushing you. That's the person that's, you know, motivating you or telling you, all right, we need to switch this up. Or we need to do a little more of this, do a little more of that. You may be going 12 on the treadmill. Hey, let's get this shit to 14. You know what I mean? So yeah, Wallow definitely, I would definitely say that was my guy in there.
That's what's up, man. We gotta get one. We gotta get one of the trainers on here, man. Just
you got to, man.
Yeah, Aaron, Kyle, Wallow,
Ham.
Yeah.
Now, Hammer been there since. And the crazy thing about it, these trainers, like, they outlast coaches, GMs, sometimes owners. Like these people, these trainers, these head trainers, they're usually with these organizations for like 20, 30, 40 years sometimes. So yeah, so shout out. We definitely got to get somebody from that standpoint. And then equipment manager, same thing. The equipment room be the same way. You got your guy in there too.
Yeah. Frog and T.
Frog T.
John.
Oh my God. Sticks. Kyle.
Man.
Shout out to all my guys.
Good times.
Great times. What else you got, man?
And we can't forget, as always, man, Manscaped. Manscaped.com. Yep. Y'all see it at the bottom of the screen. Get 20% off. Use our code, the man to man. Make sure it's the number 2. Trust us, man. It'll do you wonders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't forget that ball deodorant too. That's the one. You know what I mean? If you know, you get out that shower.
You got
8 minutes later, you should be like, come on, man.
You got 10-minute lifespan, man. You got 10-minute lifespan.
You got a solid 10 minutes once you get out the shower. Like,
man, I gotta get some new soap or something. Like,
I know I just hit these nuts. So yeah, here we go right here. Bomb. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah. You know what I mean? What else we got, man? One more closing comment question.
Man, I got I was talking to a young man last night on the phone, man. It's tough, man, just with this COVID situation and these seniors in high school and just them trying to figure out like their next move. Because you're thinking about it where, the NCAA granted some of the seniors another year of eligibility. So you're thinking about the seniors, high school seniors coming in. Sometimes they get not sometimes they getting the short end of the stick, man. What's that? Complementary sports. My nephew got hurt in a game. Coach left this year. But COVID, any suggestions for scholarships?
Man,
that's
tough. The landscape's so tough, man. Man.
And then with the transfer portal, a lot of the transfer portals are full. So it's tough, man.
It's tough. What I would say though, regardless of the opportunities, the scholarships, or whatever, like continue to work, continue to put that work in. So whatever opportunity does present itself, whatever opportunity you do end up landing, that you are ready for it, that he's ready for it, that she's ready for it. Because the worst thing you can do, and I've seen this firsthand, the worst thing you can do is be like, damn, this is going on or that is going on, and then something happens, and then you got an opportunity, and then you haven't put that work in to be ready for it. So regardless of what's going on, man, I have no personal experience with dealing with something like COVID and how in the landscape that comes with that. But man, just continue to put that work in and stay hopeful, man.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Big facts.
Yes, sir.
Big facts, man. But appreciate y'all, man. Great time, great way to start the week. As always, I hope everybody's week going good so far. Everybody, Monday started off right. Glad y'all started off with us. See y'all again on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
On Thursday. Wonder if the Eagles gonna trade up. Yep, man. So we over my high school coach Colton right now. That's crazy.
Have a good week, man. Have a good week. Great week. Great week.
Y'all be easy. Be out.